everyone, this is Zebo and welcome to today's everything you need to know about the upcoming patch for Guardian Tales. So in today's video, we're going to run through the patch for Werebeast Rey as well as everything that is to come to the global server next Tuesday. So first of all, I'll start with the roadmap itself. So this is the roadmap for Werebeast Rey. Nothing too spectacular in particular. There's a expedition ticket, right? So you can farm for more materials, right? A bunch of fire unit shards, as well as your standard hero crystals, hammers, your standard resources, right? There's a bit of mileage tickets as well. So a pretty, I'll say, like standard roadmap, a very simple one. There's nothing like super big, and there's no like a hero reset stone, epic limit break hammer, or even like a awakening reset stone kind of stuff. So that's pretty much it for the roadmap. Let us move on to the next part of today's video. So next up, it will be with regards to the equipments. So for the equipment side, other than the new exclusive weapon for Werebeast Rey, we'll be also getting a new exclusive weapon for our dear white beast, which is Fenrir over here. So this is what the equipment looks like. Probably not gonna be like super impactful other than for collection purposes, or if you are like a 2-star unit lover. So this will be the exclusive weapon for White Beast, and other than that, we will also be getting the 3 new legend accessories, which I talk about in another video. So I'll link up the other video in the description above so that you guys can visit it if you haven't yet. And lastly, they also make some changes to 3 of the merches within the game. Number 1 is the Ogma plastic model. So this exclusive unique merch, right, has its attack stat buffed from 9% to 15%, and it has its HP buff from 6% to 15%. So in total, that's a 15% stats increase, which is super major, right? Even if you do not get the increase in damage to tanker hero, right, the increase in stats I think is quite powerful on some units, which are kind of weak to tankers, right? And tankers is a really common class within the arena, so this merch itself is gonna be a lot more powerful, at least within the arena setting. And within the Colosseum side, I think it's gonna be even stronger, because in the Colosseum you always meet with a tanker, right? There's no way enemy team can play without a tanker in Colosseum. So this merch itself is receiving quite a major buff, at least in terms of the arena or Colosseum side in Guardian Tales. And the next 2 merches that got buff is the melee merch, which is Ice Witch t-shirt, right? So this one has its attack change from 9% to 12%, and its defense from 6% to 9%. So the stats change is not as major. That's a total of 6% stats increase, but the special option got changed from extra melee damage every 2 seconds to every 4 seconds, and its number increased from 35% DPS to 50% DPS. So it's a bit hard to gauge whether or not this is good, but I guess it should be a little better, because melee usually don't get to hit their range enemies, right? Or they don't really hit as often as their range counterpart, because I mean, unless your opponent is standing still to let you hit them, you're not gonna hit them as consistently. So dealing more damage every 4 seconds might be a little better, but I could be wrong, because I personally don't use this much, and I think Statue of Bravery will still be better, because there's only a 6% increase in stats, and the damage from this extra melee damage is not super impactful to me. So I don't think this is a major buff, but I'm pretty sure some people are going to try it and then do a arena video for it. So that's that. So wait for that, but I'm not going to do it because I don't think it's that good. And same for the Nari cushion. So Nari cushion stat increase as well, right, from 9% to 12% and 6% to 9%. So other than that, there's no change to the ability itself. Personally, I think the biggest winner for the merch side is definitely the Ogma plastic model, because in the event, even if you do not get the 34% damage increase for tankers, the stats from this merch itself is insane. It's like 30% worth of stats in comparison to, for example, like Statue of Bravery, which is only 12%. And like if you compare this to the buff, the t-shirt as well as cushion, this is only about 31%. So this merch alone has a ton of stats just off the attack as well as the HP compartment. So overall, keep a lookout. There will probably be more people using this merch. There might be some players trying out the t-shirt and the Nari cushion, but I don't think it will be that impactful. So with that, let us move on to the next part of this video. Okay, so next up, let us take a look at the units buff. This time around, the fire melee units, namely Piltfire, Scintilla, as well as Lin, got a buff. So firstly, Werebeast got a buff to her attack stats as well as an improvement to her chain skill. So the improvements or the buff to a chain skill is the increase in duration for power liberation from 10 seconds to 15 seconds. So this increase in attack for the normal attack as well as defense is pretty major, especially within the arena, because if you do get your chain off in the arena in your very first round or in your second round, you can actually carry over this buff to the next round. So this will allow your Werebeast to hit like a lot harder, and it's a lot more consistent in terms of dealing damage and allowing Werebeast to survive longer. So this is pretty big. And other than this buff, right, they also change out the special ability or the weapon ability for her exclusive weapon. So this one is especially important in the Colosseum. I think I mentioned this before, but the restoration of health from herself to whole team's HP by 2% is really major. This is basically like a full team heal, which is what make FP really good, which is what make Kamel really amazing as well. So these are the things that make units really good in the Colosseum. So I think if you are somebody who wants to try out the fire archetype within the Colosseum, I think it's definitely doable, especially if you're running a Werebeast lead, because she's like used to be a pretty good unit in the past. And I think now that with the buff to her chain skill as well as like more heals for the team, I think fire archetype is gonna see more use within the Colosseum itself, or at least being led by Werebeast. Okay, so next up we have Scintilla. For Scintilla, they actually changed her normal attack range, the second attack, but I can't really show you guys right for this video itself. Just need to know that they increased the range of her second attack. They also increased her chain skill from 270% to 290%, and they also increased her special ability, which increases the duration for the increased defense from using Ignition Assault from 1 second to 2 seconds. So this one is extremely major in the arena setting, because this means that Scintilla is gonna like dogfight you a lot better, and the defense increase will have a much longer uptime. So this will make her a lot harder to deal with in a man fight setting. And lastly, they also increase her screw punch from 200% DPS to 230% DPS. As you guys can see, I think Scintilla and Werebeast, they are pretty majorly buffed in this patch. Overall, I think the mono fire melee archetype is gonna see a lot more use after this patch is released, but obviously there's a lot more water units to counter it. So even if this mono fire archetype become a lot stronger in the arena, it's still counterable because there's a bunch of units that just deals very well into this lineup itself. And lastly, Lin also got a minor buff. Lin's buff is actually the change to her weapon skill, right? The exclusive weapon skill over here. So from 235% to 255% DPS. So not a major buff, but nonetheless still a buff. Overall, you guys can see the fire archetype being a lot better, at least for the melee side of things. Okay, so we'll end off this video by taking a look at the new stuff within the Amazon shop. So with regards to the packages, we have your limited time summon package. I think it's a bit cheaper, right? 40.13. Or I could be wrong, right? This is of the packages available, so you can buy it 4 times. And then we have your limited time gem package, we have your option change and lockstone special package, as well as the 1000 stamina package. So all these packages have been seen before, right? So spend based on your personal needs. And we talk about the next part, which is the new hero costumes. So we have your ping pong Rey, we have your mahjong Rey, we have your balloon playtime Ara, right? So we have her like in your balloon octopus and flower, and then we have door playtime Clara. So I think all these 3 costumes are pretty cute, but I personally like this pink raincoat Kana the most. But sadly I do not run Kana on this account, so I didn't purchase it, but I think this is amazing for Kana. And then we take a look at the equipment costumes. So the new ones, we have a balloon puppy, we have toy crossbow, and that's pretty much it for the equipment section. So yep, that's pretty much it for this everything you need to know for the next upcoming patch. And for the next upcoming patch, you'll be getting the defense co-op, right? But unfortunately, at the time of recording for this video, I didn't really get any footages for the co-op part. So just need to know that it's your standard defense co-op with the recommended type being fire element. So yep, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys.